show that can match it. How to name another show that can match it. Everybody from classy to ratchet. Heat fans like Jamaal keep the flame alive. Dennis Lee got the lake show locked in 5 to Dub K to Augusta GA. Talk everything from NBA to anime. Chat like homies or debate like enemies. It's all fun and games, just match my energy. Just match my energy. Just match my energy. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 9 of the Match My Energy podcast. It's your boy Dennis Lee, aka DinoFit Dennis.
Hey, this is Jamaal, JC2 Bless.
Man, we got a special one. This is one of our first ones that we've done, or that we're of a series that we're doing, is our top 5 list. Now, we're not really that big into Christmas movies, and you guys know everything is all about basketball with us. So we're going to do our top 5 basketball movies.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a little bit of debate going on this one. Yeah. So
Hold on.
What you got over there?
Oh, shoot. Okay, hold on.
What you sipping on?
Hey, so listen, we went to the store. Because, it's getting super cold. Matter of fact, it's supposed to snow tonight. So we went to the store to get all of our cold stuff. It's supposed to be a low of -4, so we definitely trying to be in the house. So I got some hot chocolate. We got 2 different kinds. We got this Mexican blend. Most people know, if you say Mexican hot chocolate, they know exactly. I think it's called like Abuelita or something like that. But then we also got, because normally we're just going to get the regular cocoa mix, but they got Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, wow. Man, is it super sweet?
It's perfection. It's perfection. It's got a little sweet to it. You still taste the chocolate a little bit. Definitely got that cinnamon taste. But then, we also got to put the milk in there. We use a little bit of oat milk, sweetened oat milk.
Okay.
And yeah, we got a hit.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Cinnamon hot chocolate with oat milk.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. But, yeah. So what we'll do first is one person will say their whole 5. And then the other person will go. We'll put our list on the side, Kyle. And and then we'll say honorable mentions and kind of maybe bash if we hear something we don't like.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, should we do like our top 5 list, or should we kind of go like explanation of why we like it, why we give our top 5?
First go through the top 5 and then say your whys of all of them, and then the other person will go. How about that?
All right. That sounds good.
All right. So let me see. I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, kick it off.
Okay, so
go from 5 to 1.
From 5 to 1. All right. So top 5. I'm only putting it on here at number 5 because it is a relatively newer movie. But it definitely has the capability to grow even more than it already is. Uncut Gems. Pretty good. Let me see. Number 4. I'm going to go White Man Can't Jump.
Okay.
Now, still, pretty high regard, but, the other ones are where they are. Number 3, I'm going to go with Above the Rim.
Okay.
Above the Rim, nice little 90s classic. Number 2. This is where it gets a little sticky for me because these two movies I could probably interchange, really.
Okay.
So, Glory Road.
Okay.
Glory Road for that one, based on a true story. One of my favorites. And number 1.
I think I know it.
Coach Carter.
Yeah.
Coach Carter, man. Okay, so let's see. Uncut Gems. When we first saw that in theaters, it was like, it kind of like captivated me a little bit. And then like seeing Adam Sandler in a way different role than we were used to. Yes, there was funny parts, but it was a very serious role. And then as much as it's always Lakers in 5, y'all know that. Watching Kevin Garnett win that championship, for the Celtics and all that, and the anything is possible and all that, and them kind of like going back through that during that movie, I thought it was really cool seeing that aspect and the story of that. And then White Man Can't Jump. That one was really cool to me. I like the street ball, aspect. The Sandy or the Venice Beach. And I remember when being a kid, when I was like 4, and I watched my dad play pickup basketball in Venice Beach. And I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. The Woody Allen, not Woody Allen, Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes combo was great. I liked Rosie Perez's character. And then I had Above the Rim. That one was hard. To me, again, the street basketball, the Tupac's character in there was scary. He was a scary dude. You had the late great Bernie Mac in there. And just overall the way the basketball game looked on there, even though there's a couple parts where I'm like, okay, that's probably fake. But and then I say Glory Road. Great true story about that small Texas college. We used to watch that movie over and over, and it was just very inspiring and really showed like how hard we had it not growing up for me, but like my grandpa and them, or even my dad. I think that was around my dad's time, honestly. But yeah, that, and then Coach Carter for me, that was it's based on a true story. The quotables. Me and my cousin have so many quotables from that movie. The storyline, the shooting. I think Timo Cruz was Steph Curry before Steph Curry. It was just a funny movie. I mean, not just funny, but like it did have some funny parts, but just the way that it was, man, the cast, shoot, even had some people in there where you're like, oh, that's what he did early on. Young Channing Tatum in there.
Yep.
Robert Richard was pretty good in there. Of course, Samuel Jackson he's one of my favorite actors. And overall, just a great basketball movie. It helped, like, only thing I do hate about it is my dad watched that movie and then coached me in 7th grade and decided my team will be the most runningest team we gonna have. So I never ran so many suicides in my life.
Oh man.
So Crypto's in here to tell you about his favorite movie, Air Bud. Come here, boy. Just kidding. But yeah, man, that's my top 5.
Man.
Let's hear yours.
I'm not mad at it. The only thing is with having like us being so like close and like I know it's almost the same. I have a lot of the same movies on my top 5. So that's why I'm like, we can't really, battle it out too much. But let me go. My number 5, Above the Rim.
Okay.
Got number 5, Above the Rim. 4, Loving Basketball. 4, I got Loving Basketball. 3, White Man Can't Jump, repping the shirt.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies, man. White Man Can't Jump. 2, Coach Carter. It was close. It was tough like yours, man. It was kind of battling 1 and 2, but I got Coach Carter number 2, and then my all-time favorite movie, like basketball movie, is Glory Road. Like that one is tough. That's what I'm saying. I can't.
Like I said, it's swapped out for me too, man. Like I could go.
It's tough. All right, so I mean, you kind of went over your description. It's kind of the similar to mine as well. But Butter Rim, I really love that the griminess of like this is actually what really goes on. Like people have to battle between, relationships between the streets and then also have an opportunity to go to school, play basketball. Like this is something that actually happens. It's something that they depicted pretty well. Shepard character, I liked him coming back, kind of humbling himself as like a security guard, but then he's trying to get with old dude, moms as well. So he kind of like, I can't really coach him and teach him, and I'm trying to get with his mom as well. It was kind of weird that mindset. So overall, I mean, that movie was pretty dope. It had a deep story. Talk about how he lost, how he battled with what he had to do when he played basketball. I think somebody died or something like that. I forgot.
Nutso?
His friend. Yeah. So it's like that one was a tough one. But I thought the story, was pretty good. 4, Loving Basketball. If you know me, my wife plays in that movie. Shout out to Sanaa Lathan. She'll see this later on. But yeah, to me, I mean, if you want to rank it as a love story, I wouldn't put it as a love story. I definitely put it as a basketball story. And to me, I mean, I think it's going to get some like, oh, how did you put this in your top 5? But to me, it's one of the few movies to me that actually depicted like a woman's point of view in sports at that time. Like at that time, you see, I speak, yeah. But at the time, like a lot of, especially like I think that's like '90s, late '90s, early 2000s, they wasn't depicting like women in sports. Especially their point of view is always like they was always a spouse or they was the girlfriend or wife. So to me, it kind of got a little bit more complexity than what people actually think. If you really dig deep into it, if you kind of watch it as a love story, it don't hit on the cylinders if you're trying to watch it. It's more basketball than the love part, if that makes sense. So that's 4. 3, White Men Can't Jump. I mean, come on. Come on, you gotta have this in your top 5. I'm sorry, if you like basketball, you like this movie. Like to me, it was. I mean, you talking about a white basketball hustler going around. I think this is Cali, or Los Angeles. I forgot.
Yeah. But, it was like Venice Beach area.
Yeah, something like you hustling people thinking you can't hoop, but you out there showing you can hoop. Getting a little quick money and stuff like that. I mean, it was.
Me and my little brother used to do that. Me and my little brother Davon, man, we used to do that. Y'all used to be like, "Yo, this 9-year-old, I bet me and that 9-year-old could beat y'all."
I mean, it was. Yeah, I thought it was beautiful, I love it. And stuff like this happens for real.
Yeah,
it was a beautiful movie. I can't say nothing else about that one. 2, Coach Carter. Coach Carter, when you first watched that one, it was super serious, like, and then it had some funny moments, and then it had some real moments. So I'm like, to me, it kind of had everything that a story needs to have. And I'm not sure if it's based off a true story. But
it is. Yeah.
So
Ty Crane. I just had the name for it because the character Ty Crane in there, he was it was see, now I'm mad I even brought it up. Because I used to.
Now you got to fact check yourself.
Yeah. No, because the person that he was named, that he was basically.
All right. So why are you looking that up? I was basically saying like Coach Carter.
Tyson Chandler.
What?
Yeah. So they was playing against Tyson Chandler.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Okay. Put a face to a name. You know what I mean? So. I mean, Coach Carter was pretty good. I mean, what he put this team through, like he's battling like the school system, battling the parents, battling his own players. Like, hey, this is how I'm gonna run the team. If you don't like it, you can step. Kind of got a little Deion Sanders approach to it, where he's like, hey, this is how I'm running. Hey, we all gonna be aligned when we on the field, on the court. So, to me, I
held him to a higher standard. He held them to a higher standard. It wasn't just 2.0s. It was like 2.3 you had to maintain.
Yeah, you're going to come dressed in suits when we go to the games and stuff like that. Like
sit in the front of the class, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had, and I think this is beautiful because it's supposed to be like, well, coaches, like, he shows like, I'm going to talk to the parents and I'm going to be serious and have a serious conversation with your kids and what the expectations are. Like, hey, your son is doing this in class. I don't care how good he is on the court. If he can't maintain in class, perform at a certain level, then I don't want him on my team. Like if he's causing issues, outside of school, I don't want him on my team. Like this is something that can't propel you to be something greater, but you just have to have a discipline. And then high school is probably one of the toughest spot to instill that discipline. So to me, I think it was a good movie. And then of course, Glory Road. I mean, I believe this is set in around the 1960s. True story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. One, like, that one's talking about race, of course. We breaking barriers. He was basically playing players based off skill, not race. So when he decided to start his starting five that all black, got a lot of, anger and resentment towards the team, even from the home fans. And then, some of the players' parents is like, why are you letting starting, a black person over my son and stuff like that. So it was a lot that was in the movie. It's a heavy movie.
Yeah.
But also it's fun when you see those players actually click, and then the coach allows them to be themselves. Like, he brought me to the team. Let me be my flashy player. Let me be able to dunk. Let me not just be fundamental. So, and then one little tidbit about that movie is that championship, that true team, that the real team they played in the championship, but the team. But Pat Riley was on that team.
Yeah. Wasn't that Duke? I think. Was it Duke or Kentucky? Because I know it was Adolph. Oh, it was Duke because the coach was Adolph Rupp.
See, I didn't know the team, so that's why I said the team he was playing on. But
yeah.
I just know they mentioned that Pat Riley was on that team, and of course, he's part of the Miami Heat family. So I was like, yeah, how that tied in together. So, man, that scene, I mean, that movie was heavy. Mm-hmm. I was like, it depicts like what athletes was going through, what black people was going through. They had the scene in the bathroom when he went alone. They would say, we're not going anywhere alone by ourselves when we out in public, no matter where we going. It seems like that. That's like, this is what, people older than us had to go through. And, and it's just not, right now we take it for granted. Like, hey, I can just go play basketball anywhere I want to, do whatever I want, but now, you got to think about all that stuff, in the back of your head. Why are you playing in hostile territories? Because now, the NBA and, travel basketball, you can go anywhere and play anywhere. And you don't really think about like the repercussions. Like, you do have some bad fans and stuff like that. They'll still call you out your name and stuff like that. But it's not to the point where, for the most part, it's not too threatening to your life. Right.
So, they talk about like literally just in like Utah and Boston.
Yeah. And I mean, you got people and fans everywhere that's going to be hostile to you. But as a whole, like in certain cities and stuff, people really don't want to play for it. And some people are actually notorious for it. Places are notorious for it, which is still unfortunate to this day. But that one shed a lot of light on that one, especially being a true story. It was depicted very well.
That was Texas Western.
Yes.
It was Texas Western, now known as UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso.
Yeah. So that's my top. Did you have any honorable mentions? Let's talk about those as well.
Yeah. We'll get into the honorable mentions. So I had 2 honorable mentions. Now, and the thing is, depending on the day, this one would probably even make my top 5. It's just the main character's acting was a little, but it shows a lot about what players, like you said, especially going to college or getting ready to go to college, go through. In the movie He Got Game.
Okay.
He Got Game. That was one of my favorites growing up. But as I started to like watch movies and analyze it a little bit better, I was like, oh, this dude's talking like a robot. Ray Allen. Ray Allen was like, man, but you left me, Dad. Like,
I still think they should have got somebody else for that one.
Yeah, I get what they was trying to do, what I'm saying? But no, okay, you should have found somebody else. But yeah, no, that movie was really good to me. Other than that, and it also shows like a lot of these players be getting paid on the low.
Oh yeah,
going
and
to
we
college.
know this.
Yeah, now they're getting paid on the high, with the NIL and everything. So it's a lot better.
It was about that time anyway. I mean,
right.
It was getting out of hand. So.
Because you got to think, these people, like, you supposed to expect me to believe that some kid that's like LeBron, who's going from couch to couch, is just gonna go play college ball and still be poor. No, and then he's signing autograph that people are selling for hundreds of dollars. Everybody gets to make money off me but me.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing it for years. You talk about all the past players, they'll be like, man, if I had this, I might not even have to go to the league. You know what I mean? Like, these people making shoe deals where they don't even have to be like, make it to the NBA to fulfill, to get some money. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that's one of the biggest things was like, now, hey, you capitalize on your name. You start branding early. You know what I mean? So
it showed the college visits and all that, the craziness of that. That movie, and then also because Denzel Washington always does like a really good job. And one thing I noticed about Denzel, you guys can kind of pay attention to this. One thing that he's gonna do is he's gonna rip somebody's arm off him and say, "Get your hands off me," and he's gonna punch someone in the throat.
He like getting physical.
He punches someone in the throat. It like literally boom, almost every movie. And that was the first one I noticed it on. And then it was like Equalizer, of course, and one of the newer ones. Training Day, he did it with the guns or whatever to the crackhead. But my other honorable mention, this goes into the funnies. Semi-Pro. Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell and Andre 3000, D-Ray Davis. Like,
I kind of forget about that movie every time. I mean, the only time I really think about it is when Klay Thompson dressed up as Will Ferrell character for Halloween. But other than that, I'm like, kind of forget about that as being even a basketball movie yet. I don't even put it up there myself, but I kind of forget about it.
And they play the most basketball. They play so much basketball in that movie.
Oh, if you want to call it that. Yeah, they play whatever.
This is where they showed when the first alley-oop happened and all that.
Yeah, what is that?
It was just so like if you just want just a good laugh, but there's also some basketball played. Watch that one. It's Will Ferrell, so like you're used to just like watching the race to be entertained.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And then maybe, and it's not too crazy, and it's only for nostalgia for me, and it's not what you guys think. Like Mike. Like Mike, man, when I was a kid.
See, this is why we friends. You know what I mean? Because this is like that's on my honorable mention. Like that's one of mine. I was like, I think I'm gonna surprise him with this one, but now he gonna say it. So now it's like,
it was one of my jams, man. Me and my little brother Dalen, man, we used to watch that movie all the time, man. Like, I don't know. First off, we used to like Bow Wow back then. People act like Bow Wow, like they don't love Bow Wow.
Yeah, he was at his peak then too.
Yeah. So, that's my honorable mentions.
Okay, well, at least you got one of mine out the way. Like Mike is one of mine. I kind of kept mine honorable mentions more like on the playful side. So like Mike, for sure. I don't care what Bow Wow was at the peak. Lil Bow Wow was at his peak at that time. Everybody wanted to be like, I don't want to say wanted to be like Bow Wow, but they want to have his lifestyle.
The
like
braids.
He's around everybody. Exactly. I mean, he hooping. His character, Calvin Cambridge, like, man, it was cold. It was cold. The first one. They started making the second one and the third. I think it's the third one. I was like, yeah, it's just the first one. The first one I like the best. So that was definitely my honorable mention. My second one, I'm surprised you didn't mention it, bro. I'm surprised. Space Jam.
Go ahead.
Oh man, you about to go crazy off the movie. Now, you talk about nostalgic. This is the 90s, bro. This movie swept us. I don't care about the acting. I don't care about playing basketball. You talking about Looney Tunes, Michael Jordan, basketball, come on. Like, that's us. Soundtrack go crazy to this day.
Okay.
To this day.
All right.
Soundtrack
I'll give you that.
Go crazy.
I'll give you that.
I'm talking about, that's a good movie. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the original Space Jam, not the Space Jam 2. Space Jam.
I didn't mind Space Jam 2, honestly. I didn't mind it. It wasn't that bad.
That was a bad movie. I'm not putting
it on any list, but it wasn't as bad.
If it ain't on the list, it's a bad movie. It was okay. Let me not say it's bad. It's decent for a kid movie. I'll say that. But Space Jam was good. Space Jam
is decent for a good kid movie.
Space Jam is up there because during that era, doing a Looney Tunes. I don't know if they had like an animated with like real life.
Yeah. Around the same time they came out with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. They started interacting with like animated images and pictures and with the real life in a cinematic fashion. So to me, I mean, yeah, I gotta put. That's why Space Jam is in my honorable mention. I can't put it in my top 5. It's not that good of a movie to put in my top 5, but it's good enough to put in my honorable mention. I would say so. Space Jam and like Mike for sure. It's more on the goofier side of basketball, but still showcase that basketball references in there. Plus, you had a whole bunch of actors and stars in both movies. So
that's real. Okay.
So feeling that one at all?
No. Okay. So here's the thing. I remember, and this is crazy. Like, I mean, my memory does kind of go back. Like, my long-term memory is pretty good. So when I was like,
I wish I could say the same.
3.5, 4 years old. I remember that was the first time I watched Space Jam, and I think it had like just came out around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like, wow, this is pretty cool. And I like the beginning scene where he's shooting at the beginning, and then it has that flash forward. That's pretty cool. As I got older, I you want to go back and watch the movies and have the same feels. Now, when I watch like Mike, I still have the same feels. When I watch Space Jam, I'm like, first off, this, I don't know why I just like have been like not liking Michael Jordan. I keep like liking Michael Jordan less and less for some reason. It may be some other stuff that go along with it.
What?
But that's a whole other conversation. But like, I don't know. It's just like his acting in there was just like, honestly, I think that Ray Allen's acting in He Got Game was better than Michael Jordan's in Space Jam. It was really bad. The line,
that's tough. They both had bad acting. So I don't know. That might be tough.
I would have rather watched Ray Allen with the green screen than Michael Jordan. Man, then the way he
about the time. Oh, go ahead.
Like when he was like, I forget what he said, but my cousin kept bringing this up. It was like, what's for dinner? Chicken and collard greens and Kool-Aid. I was like, what in the Umar Johnson is this? Why would you? He was like, my favorite. Like, man, it just hit my ears wrong. I don't know.
So you started analyzing it as an adult. That's what you messed up at.
That might be that. Yes. Should I say my other overrated movie?
Let's dissect these. Let's dissect these first, and then we'll talk about what we think is overrated. So Space Jam. Okay, I can give you that. It's still, like I said, a decent kid movie. I think we got to look at it as a kid, just like Mike. It's a kid movie. It's not something for an audience that's like 17 and up type of deal. It's still like, I don't even know if it's PG-13. Might just be PG at the time. So
that's true. I'll give you.
So
that.
For those, I still give it that one. I want to hear your take because you made some faces, and I need to know why. Loving Basketball. You need to stop disrespecting Loving Basketball. Now, is that overrated?
It's so overrated.
All right, speak on it then. I guess we're gonna go into it anyway. So go ahead and speak on it.
Loving Basketball.
And don't this is my wife now, so be respectful.
So when you brought up how they highlighted the women's struggle in basketball and the sport, like, and how horrible it is for them, to where even if you're the top player, you still gonna play overseas, especially in the 90s. Like, they had just started the WNBA, and even now with the whole Brittany Griner thing, it's even showing like the whole reason why she even got in trouble was because she had to go play over there to supplement her income over here because they still don't get paid enough. And that's a whole thing, and that's not even the women's fault. It's actually more the viewers' fault, but whole other conversation. But yeah, them showing the struggle and how, like, the main character, Quincy McCall, had it way harder than or had it way easier than Monica did. Sanaa Lathan's character. So yes, the basketball, if you just look at the basketball aspect of it, I will give you some of that. However, movie as a whole, if I'm gonna start with just the story.
Okay.
So first off, this whole time, so the story all goes right to the ending. Right to the ending. They're all happy to be together now. You know, they had the game for her heart, and that's supposed to be a sweet moment, right? They had the one-on-one game where she's like, "Let me play you for your heart."
Come on, man.
The day before his wedding? What? Because the thing is, Tyra Banks' character, his fiance, was a stewardess that he met, you know, and then she took care of him and all that. When he tore his ACL and was probably, and this is back in the day where if you tore your ACL back in the 90s, your career is about done. You don't just bounce back. Nowadays, you can do that. There's people who's torn two and they've come back and they're impacts in the league. But back then, you about done. She still was like, it's fine. I know you won't be making too much more money, but I love you genuinely. And then you mean tell me my fiance's next door neighbor is able to just go, let me play you. And now I lose my man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, she lost her man because of a basketball game, because of the next door neighbor, the person that you thought was safe. Oh, no, that's just my friend from way back in the day. That's just sis, basically. Even though, you know, they had they dated in college a little bit. They first boyfriend and girlfriend back when they was like 10 or 11 or however old they was at the beginning of the movie. That was, he got with her after all of his life is just like, after now he's at the downward trajectory of his life. That was almost some Forrest Gump level and Jenny level togetherness. At the end of my life, when I'm nothing, I have to sit floor seats at your WNBA game because the WNBA just started. So these tickets are $10. Like, that's just horrible. Like, he did your wife so dirty in that movie. So dirty.
I do give you that. I do give you that.
Overseas. Second, yo, as a person who came from divorced parents, you are not that distraught to where you're mad that she's not going to stay with you when you found out your dad was cheating on your mom. First off, your dad was cheating on your mom and he's an NBA player. We basically know that, like, that's like 95% of them.
Don't put that on them.
And the rest of them just have arrangements. Like, I know what you're going to do when you get to Miami or whatever. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that one. Okay. All right. Let me tell my spin on it. That movie make you sick.
Make me sick, man.
Okay. So.
And then one last thing. So they're from Inglewood, right?
Yes.
I ain't never heard more New York Inglewood sounding characters in my life. Oh no, son. No. I ain't heard one. Hey, Mark. Hey, what you doing over there? No LA accents or nothing. They all because I know Omar Epps is from like Brooklyn or somewhere. He's from New York. And I think Sanaa Lathan's from somewhere east. But that goes with acting. If the dude from Snowfall, who regularly has his British accent, comes over here and says, "All right, put it in the bag, man," or does his whole little accent, they can do it.
That's also true. It's also, 20 plus years ago. So, I know.
Take 5 minutes and listen to your surroundings. Hey, how does that person sound at the end of the block?
That's facts. Okay, so one thing I would say is the movie try to put too much in the hour and a half, 2 hour span, because they went from a childhood to adulthood. It's like 12 year span, 12, 15 year span to try to put it all into one movie. So that, to me, that's why some parts felt like it's rushed. Some parts, like say you playing basketball, to win over somebody's heart, right before somebody's wedding. Yeah, that's, circumstance.
But as a married man, that don't hit my ears right.
But at the same time, she also made it, it's not like it happened after the wedding. It'd be like, hey, is this something y'all really want to do? You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, at least it was before, not after. So point, this saying right there. But to me, I like what the movie does. It shows complexity of different families and different households. So you have like the middle class. You also have this upper class with having from a basketball family. So you can see like each family struggle with something. You have the divorce side on this one. This family, he has his family on like a upper echelon, thinking like they are the best, whatever. And then he finds out his dad's been unfaithful in his marriage. He's like, man, y'all just put this in my head that we was the perfect family. So what is this really going to look like for me? And then you also have the other side.
For you, nothing, man. That's your parents. There's nothing to do.
But it's like, to me, okay, the way he looked at it is how we look at Steph Curry and his family. We saw them, not we personally, but people saw them as like that perfect model family. Like, oh my goodness, his mom, his dad is together. They have these kids. They have these beautiful children as well.
And they all just making
and they all
perfect family.
It's a huge tree. And then when they started, having their issues and then they actually split up, people's like, man, what's going on with that family as well? Now, Steph Curry might not be like, how does this affect me? Because he's already established at that point. But that's kind of how I'm like looking at it, where he's like, okay, everybody's looking at us as like the perfect branch or perfect family. Now we're not, we can't be true to that anymore.
Man, that dude was selfish the whole movie.
He was
selfish, bro.
I'm not trying to take up any other character. I'm just trying to explain the movie a little bit. That's all I'm trying to do.
He was like, yo, stay out with me. She's like, I have curfew and I won't get to play. I won't do nothing. I don't have the same luxuries as you. I wasn't even supposed to be here, but so-and-so got pregnant. Said that in the locker room.
Now you have Monica's side of the thing. So to me, they were trying to balance out Q's side of stuff from the point of view, and then also Monica's at the same time. Of course, Monica's role in the storyline kind of projected more than his. Mm-hmm. But he gonna grow up. She's kind of like a tomboy. Her family's trying to make her into more ladylike, trying to do things more traditional that she would do. Like, hey, stop roughhousing. So why you want to play basketball? You want to do this? Do something with your hair. You know what I mean? So you kind of see like two different two different complexities. I'll keep saying with these families. So I like that little view. I mean, it ain't straightforward. Yeah. It ain't straightforward. Yeah. And then also what you was talking about, the inequality between female athletes and male athletes. Because one of the scenes which, when I look back at it, I'm like, I didn't really pick up on it, was when Monica plays like one of her high school games. It's like one of those top championship games, whatever. It's only a little people sprinkled in the crowd.
Yeah.
It's like something like they pick up on, like because that's how it is. It's not like everybody will be going to the women basketball game, but you go to Q's game, it's everybody's packed up, people standing on the side by the door. It's just like, to me, they picked up on details like that, where it is like, and then
I do be feeling bad about that, man. Like, we went to a WSU game and it was packed. This was last year and they weren't even that good, but it was the dudes' game. It was packed. And then like I see like the girls in the tunnel after the game was over. So like I guess they were about to play right after this. At the same time, I see hella people like leaving the stadium, and you don't see too many people going in. So it's just like, we do not care about what y'all got going. It's a Saturday too. It was like 2 p.m. Sure, man, I sit there. But yeah, everybody was like, yeah, no, we don't care about this.
It's tough because they usually put the women's game before the guys because they know that like they don't want a lot of traffic after the game.
Well, in college, a lot of times they do like different days and stuff. Like,
yeah.
But this just so happened to be the same day, and I felt bad. I was like, I'm still gonna leave. But
yeah, I mean, it all depends. If you don't already know nobody on the team, it's tough to watch, especially after watching a men's game. I think that's different. If you go for that game, then it's easier to stay. But if you watch the men's game and then you have to stay afterwards, it's a little bit tougher. But now the competition's picked up. I don't know. Sometimes you got to stay. They got little handles. I mean, let me say little. They got some handles.
No, I like
shots. So they got some stuff. I mean, they got some moves. So I was like,
yeah,
it depends on the talent level that you're watching. and then what you really feel like. Because after watching a high scoring, men's game, going back and watching the women's
and
game
you've already been there
tough.
for like 3 hours. So I'm supposed to sit here for another 3? Well, I got things to do. I'm going to Red Robin. Like whatever.
That's also true. So I mean, all right. I think we kind of tackle love and basketball, but Sanaa Lathan,
No, I mean that's
she in there, so she got to be my top 5. I got to say it like that.
I feel you. I mean, but I get, and you make some good points. How they show the different things of that, and I think mainly it's just kind of like, to me, it's kind of. I think that movie could have been better if it wasn't a movie. Like you said, I think that if they worked on their mannerisms, some LA mannerisms, stuff like that. But aside from that, if they made it like, I don't know, a 3 to 4 season show. If they would have had the Love and Basketball show,
that's tough. But at that time, it was
build that up slowly, and then they go through the college, and then they go through her playing overseas, him doing this, them reconnecting in the off season or whatever they do.
But at the time, you got to think that wasn't the thing they were doing, like limited series and stuff like that. Like,
well, not even that, TV
that would have to be a sitcom type of deal.
And it's a black thing. Like, there's no way they was gonna get that greenlit. They weren't doing too many. They already had the black shows.
They had this a lot of a lot of allocated shows and stuff for that. So it's like, to me, it was a movie. I think it should have been a little bit longer, a little bit more spaced out. They kind of rushed everything with people aging so quickly. That's the only thing that's like, it's tough, because it's like they're trying to put everything jam-packed into this story, which to me, the thing that I also get the most gripe is that people keep saying it's not a love story. I was like, it is a love story. It's just not the right kind of love story. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
It is a love story.
There is, yeah. You can't, in a sense, but it's
you
just
can't say it's not a love story. It's just
it's
not
like
the right,
saying
it's not the right type of love story you want to portray.
Forrest Gump is a love story, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, it's now that I ain't got nothing and I got AIDS, and like,
hey, love comes in different ways.
But
yeah,
I felt so bad for them, man. Like,
yeah, man.
I felt bad for the women. Actually, I felt bad for every single woman in that story.
Which story are you talking about?
Love and Basketball. If you think about it, every single woman in that story did wrong.
It's tough, and then it's the reality of things too.
Quincy's mama cheated on after all them years. Monica's mama was getting beat, and she's like, "No, it's okay. Just put it together." By her. What is he, like a banker or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Monica, she was always like his second option. Like literally, he didn't ask her to the dance. He went with Gabrielle Union's character, and then whatever fell through there, he messed around and got with her while listening to A Woman's Worth. A Woman's Worth is the worst love-making song when you think about it. It sounds pretty, but it's basically a song about how hard women have it.
Yeah.
So she loses her virginity to "This is how hard women have it." And then even the sister, I don't think was like, I don't know. She just, and then of course, like I said, Tyra Banks' character. You leaving me because here's another thing that you don't. All right, when you start getting married, think about this. Because you saw how I did my wedding. Most of that stuff was pretty cheap or free, right? Mm-hmm. That ain't how it normally is, and I know that wasn't how it was about to be for them. The dresses start off about $2,000-3,000, goes up from there. So she probably got a little $10,000 dress. The venue, the catering, the guest list, people getting their flights to be in there. This is the day before the wedding, the day before.
Hey, you digging way too deep. I'm telling you, love has no cost. I'm sorry.
So now
you can't marry somebody because you say, "Hey, we already spent $100,000 on this day. Let's go ahead."
I know, I feel that, but I feel like let's say Sanaa Lathan, or let's say Monica was still in Turkey playing basketball or whatever. They would have gotten married and he would have been happy. He already was doing her. He was doing her dirty at the very beginning of this game. Fresh off the ACL injury, was still kind of a little bit. Took it off, was dunking on her. There's no reason.
He still would have been fantasizing being back with Monica's character, with Sonali's character. Every time he'd be like,
she was safe and she liked him. He got with the one who liked him from a kid.
Yeah.
Who he kept pushing to the side. Look, I know she always gonna be there for me, so I'll just get back to her when I want to. But I'm gonna mess with whoever I want to do, whatever. Women was getting done wrong in that movie. But
yeah, and then you also got the other girl, like she was a senior and then she broke. She got injured and then Sonali didn't either take like
yeah.
She can't even catch a break too. And she's supposed to be on her way out. So yeah, it was tough. But hey, it's also showing the reality of things. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is stuff what happens and they actually portrayed it as well. It's not a feel-good movie as well. So I think if you look at it from this is a love story, a love movie, it's not going to be good. If you look at it from this is what actually happens in the game of basketball on two different perspectives,
and
it's a decent movie.
Game of life.
Right. I'm not going to say it's up there like, oh my God, it's the greatest movie of all time type of deal, but, it's still one of those, for me, it's in the top 5 for basketball movies. Because you can't, think about this. Even when you talk about basketball movies, loving basketball always come to your head, good or bad. You don't overstep it like, oh, I forgot about this movie. Say no, it comes to your head every time. So
yeah, but that's also because it's in the title. You know what I'm saying? Like if I told you to list your favorite panda movies, you're gonna say Kung Fu Panda. That doesn't mean it's the best movie. It's just you heard panda in the title. Like, oh yeah, Kung Fu Panda.
Okay, I'll give you that as well. So,
but
hey,
you know what? But look, the way you put that, it makes me like it a little bit more. I will say I don't hate it.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's just certain things where I'm just like, why are y'all talking like y'all just listened to a Biggie album, but in the early 90s, LA.
Like you real pressed on the accents or how they portray the accents. That's what's getting to you.
Yes, the movie felt super LA. It felt really LA, and then it was just like you're at USC, dude. My family lives by USC. My mom's side, and it's like blood gang member central. Like literally, you see this beautiful college, and then you drive like 4 blocks this way. It's like all the gang banging and sets being thrown up, and my cousins are like, "Hey, what's up, Rally? How you doing, man?" They all got these crazy voices. Yo, it's still Bompton.
Yeah,
like literally, you're right there.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, like I said, Beatles, man. Hey, what's up, bro? All that.
I think if it was more like depends on the director or the producer that actually wanted to portray the actual location. I think they would have done better on focusing on that. But I think they wanted to get the story and plot across more than actually like we just had to put this in this location, but we're not trying to portray that this is where they all from because everybody talking how they talk regularly, basically. So
yeah, like they didn't try nothing else. But
yeah, like we letting you know about the city and stuff like that and the scenery to saying this is the location, but we ain't about to be over here voice training everybody.
Yeah, we ain't gonna show too many of the and I get that, especially with some of the older people or even him because I feel like the dad probably moved around a lot with actually I think he was there. But he played for the Clippers, I think, right?
He played for the Clippers, yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It was kind of the moving around thing. So I don't know. It's whatever. It's one of those steps. But they could at least been like, yo, Omar, can you stop saying son so much? But
all right. Let's jump off Love and Basketball. What is another overrated movie that you have?
Well, for me,
I think Love and Basketball is one, right?
Yeah, Love and Basketball, and then Space Jam. I don't know, and I talked about that a little bit, but now that you said that, like when you said like it was definitely made for just like the Space Jam 2. It was made for the kids. And so some stuff that I may catch might be like, okay, that was a little corny. But you can't name a kid movie that isn't corny to adults. So I don't have too much on that no more.
Yeah, I would say review it from the time like you watched it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, even like Mike,
younger, but
even like Mike is kind of corny, but like I really like it still. Like I don't know. Like I get it, but even when I was a kid, I was kind of like, I don't know. Like Space Jam was okay, and I felt bad. It was one of them blasphemy thing. Like so, loving basketball and Space Jams. This is actually me like getting out this blasphemy that I've been holding in because I'm afraid to tell this to people. So here y'all go.
What's your thoughts though?
Yeah, because okay, so people know like in Black culture, there's certain movies that we kind of hold like near and dear to us, and Love and Basketball is pretty high on that list. You gotta watch Love and Basketball. You gotta watch Life, and there's all that. And we could probably do a Black movies list, but I don't know, man. I don't know why I didn't enjoy it as much as even as a kid. I was kind of like, we can watch something.
But at least you watched it. Like how they say like it's blasphemy if you didn't watch the movie. At least you watched it. You just
I've watched.
You didn't take to it.
I've watched both of these movies a lot of times. Matter of fact, so Love and Basketball is my stepmom's favorite movie. So like there would be Saturdays where she would run this movie back like little kids, when like little kids would watch Frozen, they're just like, again, and then just turn it right back to the beginning. That was her with Love and Basketball. So I've watched, maybe that's why I've analyzed it this much, because I guarantee I've watched this movie 300, 400 times.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one of those that was always on BET and stuff.
Also the BET, like Baby Boy. Like Baby Boy is trashed everybody now, but like
at the time it was always,
it's kind of cool.
On repeat. I mean, okay, so for my overrated, I got one of your top 5, I think. Or your honorable mention, sorry. He Got Game.
Okay.
Overrated. I think it's because of the Spike Lee name attached to it. People think it's so better of a movie.
Oh, I thought you were about to bash Spike.
No. Spike, I love Spike. I'm just saying because his name attached to it. Yeah, you had to hold your breath. No, I think because his name is attached to it, they think it's just a great basketball movie. But I was like, it had its good points. It had its good plot. It had some depth to it. But Denzel, his character could be a lot better. All the roles he played, this is one of my least favorite from him. And then also, you also talk about the acting. Ray Allen.
I've admitted it.
That one and Michael Jordan in Space Jam, I can't. Who was the worst? I can't give you that one. But they should definitely. I think they should have got an actor who had the physique of Ray Allen. But because there's plenty of people who can dunk. You didn't need Ray Allen in that movie.
This is early Ray Allen. Like this is like
peak Ray Allen. This is
And
I mean, it's a couple things that like I like out of the movie, especially his name, like Jesus Shuttleworth. That name is cold. It's cold. Jesus Shuttlesworth. Come on.
Jesus Shuttlesworth. All right. Yeah.
But to me, I just didn't. When I watched it, I was like, it's cool. I just didn't get the same emotion that I get from other movies when I watched it, especially with it being more of this is tier for PG-13. It's teenagers can't watch it, but it is.
I think it might be
to
R.
the older audience.
I think it might be R.
So I think it's tiered to older audience for sure.
In that.
So yeah, I was like, I didn't pick up on it like that. And they said Denzel character, he could have been a lot better to me. And I know he was trying to portray. I know what the character was about. I know what the character. I know he had to be like, hey, I just gotta, prison. I gotta get my son to play so I can get, lower my sentence, stuff like that. But it just like, I don't know. He could have came with it a little bit better. I don't know.
I feel like he acted like most dudes that's been locked up for a long time. Like the when he first found the little girl or whatever, and that little thing, him getting out, the way he kind of walked around, the way he was dressed kind of trash, even when he went and bought me some Jordans, but the shorts over the sweats thing, and he just that perfect looking afro.
Yeah, I mean, but that's to me, that's also Spike Lee. Spike Lee pay attention to details like this as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, and then he likes Jordans. But I mean, even the acting. I mean, he just acted like a what would I call it? Like yeah, he's sorry for what he did, but he acting like a dude that's in prison, like a dude that just got out. I guess I got enough like friends and my uncles. He reminded me of a couple of my uncles or whatever, and I was just kind of like,
yeah, you had some more references than I guess so. But for me, I was like, he didn't really. To me, he should have brought it a little bit more. Sorry, because if you know Ray Allen ain't strong, then that character got to be stronger.
Yeah,
it didn't balance out well for me.
That's real. And on top of that, he probably thinking, yo, I can't even go as hard as I want to on Ray Allen because
he an actor. Exactly.
Well, that and okay, so think about like I forget Denzel's name in that movie. But
that's why it's overrated. I was like, I forgot it.
Yeah, but think about his character and his relationship with Jesus Shuttlesworth. Because it's like, yes, I'm your dad, but also I know I can't go too hard on you because I feel guilty. I feel guilty because you watched me kill your mother even if it was an accident. I did not mean to do it. Yes, we got a little rough, and I'm still sad because I did lose the love of my life. Even though it was by my hand, I still lost her. So yeah, I want to go hard on you, but I'm still guilty because of what I did to you.
And I mean, for me, it should have been more like, it don't have to be as hard, like with this interaction with Ray Allen's character. It could have been like more emotional impact to him. Like we just see some scenes by himself that's going really, like really going through it. Like this is how he really felt. Like this is something that, man, I've been doing this for an accident that happened. I don't have a relationship with my kids and stuff like that. It's one that's really just like breaking me apart. I'm trying to get everything to go together. I still got to work with him, trying to get him to go to this school so I can lower my sentence. It was like all this stuff, like to me,
right,
with all that going on with Denzel's character, with Denzel's acting skills, he could have portrayed this with like, I'm trying to keep it together, but inside I'm going crazy when he has like his moments that he's with him by himself. And to me, it could have been a little deeper that way.
And that could have been early on because, you know, they don't really show, because they only showed the incident when he was a kid. But then the movie takes place where he's a senior in high school. So we didn't see that jail time from, I don't know, 10 to 17 or 18 or whatever. So maybe in those early years, that's what it was happening. But I get what you're saying. They definitely should have.
Flashback. That could have been a quick flashback. No, I ain't gonna say it's gonna make the movie better, but I'm just saying that would have been.
It would give more depth to the character and stuff like that. That makes sense. Yeah,
especially y'all want to portray that, you know, what was going on mentally and stuff like that. So
yeah, but so I definitely, that's why it doesn't make my top 5, and it's only honorable mention because, and I kind of like the way they was hooping. I like the little story. I like Rosario Dawson, and her character, and well, not her character, but. Because she was kind of slime ballish too. But I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, man. And that's kind of
see that. Okay, so that was one of mine, and the other one I got Uncle Drew. Uncle Drew. Overrated. I'm sorry.
Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. When I was looking through this to get my list together, I saw Uncle Drew, thought about it, and kept scrolling. I'm not gonna lie.
You in agreement or you?
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement. Yeah. Right. It wasn't really okay. So here's the thing. I was really looking forward to this movie because when those Uncle Drew clips used to come out on YouTube.
Exactly.
I was tuned in, man. Like, cause Kyrie, first off, y'all heard us talk about Kyrie. Like, he is a magician. He's a magician and has no weaknesses as a basketball player. His only weakness is extracurricular reading, I guess.
But that's why, okay, that's basically what the reason I put it as overrated, because Kyrie and Uncle Drew character, they should have went crazy. Like,
yes,
basketball wise, not really acting. I didn't really care about the acting, but to me, they pumped too many stars into that movie. It should have been more just Uncle Drew. Yeah, he had his other, other 4 that was older people as well. But to me, it should have been more just focused more on Uncle Drew. But the skills, like, to me, it was cool having an older person, kind of hoop. But Uncle Drew should have went ballistic. Kyrie should have went deep in his bag for that movie. Like anything and everything he should have done in that movie. And that's why I was like, it's overrated because we just loved Uncle Drew character. I mean, we loved Uncle Drew before we watched the movie, so people just assumed that the movie's going to be great. But at that time, everybody loved Kyrie at that time. So it's one of those, like, everybody was going to go see the movie, and he had the, cast of different players and people that's in the movie. But I'm like, to me, it didn't give no depth into it. They didn't really give nothing that was like memorable about the movie besides seeing Kyrie look old with a gray afro that we already seen on
real.
IG.
Yeah, and I think they definitely should have highlighted that more, especially because it's like, okay, so when it comes to a movie, you've invested on the low end millions of dollars, a low million, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? Like, what's going to make me not want to like just rewatch all your YouTube videos for the free over getting up and going and paying 10 to 20 or however many people you bring to the movies to go watch this?
Exactly.
I could have just stayed on YouTube and just ran it back.
And his highlights better on YouTube than it was in the movie.
My favorite one was the one with him and Kevin Love. I don't know why that one is like my favorite one to go back to, but no, they was hooping. But yeah, man, like it's that
one. I think Kyrie was breaking out. I was at Team USA practice. I forgot when that was, but he took it from out of bounds and went coast to coast, dribbling between everybody, did a little spin.
Yes,
I think against Kobe as well. I mean,
it was like Kobe, James Harden,
and they gotta be USA team there.
Yeah, it was like it was a USA
practice.
Yeah, the trials when they have like 30 people there, 50 people there.
He went crazy. I was like, that clip alone should have been in the movie.
Yeah,
like he can do that against them people that was in the cast. Come on,
they should have gave more homage to Kyrie. Had him doing the Kyrie moves that we were used to seeing and all that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the movie, okay, at least what I take from Uncle Drew is not that he's still able to hoop at an older age, is that he's still like better than a 20-year-old at his age.
Right.
Like he can hoop extremely well compared to, an NBA star, NBA superstar. It's not like he can beat anybody at the park at his age, is that he can beat anybody in the NBA at his age. That's what I took from Uncle Drew's character.
Yeah.
And that didn't, and to me, this looked like, somebody we could see today that had own man strength that can still be somebody on the court.
Right.
And as he should have been more flashy,
Well, because really he wasn't even the main character. He wasn't even the main character of that movie. The main character was Lil Rel's character.
Yeah.
As a coach, I found this old man at the park. Oh, this is old man named Uncle Drew. Oh man.
Right.
And he got his girl took by Nick Kroll's character. Nick Kroll's always funny to me. Which was his girl was Tiffany Haddish, I think. Yeah. So I mean, it was just kind of like okay, I guess. Yeah, it definitely was. It's overrated to me. I'm not no argument on that one. Like,
I'm glad.
And also another overrated. I'm not gonna say overrated, but it just ain't gonna. I know a lot of people may put it in their 5, and I'm not. Speaking of which, crypto, Air Bud. It didn't quite do it for me. Oh, okay, man. Sorry.
I didn't even know you talk about that one. I don't even need to talk about it.
Well, because I remember watching that one a lot as a kid.
That's a Disney movie.
I think it might be Disney. There's a couple of Disney. Matter of fact, every Disney basketball movie was trash.
Stop it. You need to stop. That Irish basketball one.
I'm mad that you brought that one up. I'm mad you brought that one up. Nah.
The Irish basketball. Oh, what about that movie with the twins?
The twins, that was the second.
And then she was doing the moves. She thought she ate.
That move was so as a dude. Because I went outside and did it and got made fun of for the rest of the summer one time. Because I was like, oh man, that move should work.
But wasn't she lifting up
yes. She was just lifting up her heels
the entire time.
No, she was just moving up her heels.
Okay, I thought she was moving her feet as well. So
just like a move on her toes or whatever. I was like, and then she like got mad because she was hurt and did like the fake, and then left. I was like,
yeah, and that person fell for that. I was like, that hard. Yeah. So Disney. I mean, Airbud, I was definitely, I ain't really big on dogs, but I definitely was gonna put.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to mention Airbud, man. The only thing, the one I was debating about putting on my honorable mention was Sunset Park.
Okay.
That was the only one that was kind of
yeah.
because it kind of gave me the same feeling as Above the Rim. It kind of gave me the same type of like, okay, this is actually how players. It's not everybody's not on the same page as a team. Everybody got their own thing going on. Everybody got this. So, it's one of those.
You know what's crazy? And there's some like black. They be say like black don't crack and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dude. He does more than just black don't crack. This guy is a vampire. Like I just started watching. I just saw my first show a little bit ago where he like actually looked like the dad. And he was like somebody's dad finally. But the dude in Sunset Park is also a dude in One Tree Hill, and is also one of the players, Worm on Coach Carter.
What?
Think about that. Sunset Park and Coach Carter were like 20 years apart, close to. And this dude still played a high school player.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I'm like, this dude don't age. You're right here thinking I'm looking young for my age. This dude with 20 years and looked 10 months older.
Hey. Do what you can do. I mean, if I age like that, I mean, if you actually look like that, like you definitely gonna keep playing those roles. Like you might as well.
Oh yeah, so,
But yeah, Sunset Park. I mean, to me, when I first saw it, I was like, let's see this white woman take this group of guys and try to get them all in one.
Antoine Tanner. I just wanted to highlight that vampire, Antoine Tanner. That dude, and Ashanti was in Coach Carter.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, that was another one I was thinking about putting an honorable mention. But to me, I already had a movie that was similar to that one, so I really didn't. Out of those two, I think Above the Rim was definitely better.
Yeah.
So, or at least resonated with me better. So,
well, actually, and the thing is, in confession, like I've only seen Sunset Park like one time. I do remember liking it. I think what's his name was in that too. What's his name? It's hard out here for a pimp. Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard, yeah.
Yeah.
And when he starts saying, hey man.
Hey man. That was my jam.
Come on, man.
Yes, there it is. Yeah. Sunset Park came out in 96. And Coach Carter came out in 05. So they were like 9 years apart. But still, the dude did not age at all.
A decade.
But yeah, no, that was, I don't know. I did like that. I liked how and then it was like, what is her name? She was a really good actress too. She was actually, Rhea Perlman. She actually used to be married to Danny DeVito. I mean, that's just a random fact.
That was.
It's just random. I mean, I just really like Danny DeVito.
Okay.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that
yeah, movie, I mean, to me, I like those type of movies. And then when I was looking at it, I was like, man, we should actually probably do like a top 5 like fictional basketball players or something like that, because I was like, man, what am I gonna put in my top 5? And I'm looking like, Will Smith and Fresh Prince was hooping.
And
that's I was like, I know we kind of taking a turn from the top 5. But I think we kind of wrapped up our top 5. We talked about that.
So. That's cool. Yeah, we got that.
Because I was like, man, the way he took the whole team by himself.
He was one punch man. They made him one punch man.
He was going crazy. And then Carson had a nerve.
Easy, like dunk it. Yes. No, that was.
He went so far. Carson stole the ball from him to try to make the shot. And they made it so.
That air ball was so. Dude.
They made it so anticlimactic. Like, it was like, I thought, like, they slowed it down. I thought it was actually going to go in when you first watch it. Then I'm like, bro, what? Why? But yeah, he was hooping, dunking. He hooped for real at that time. So,
but that one, they went extra crazy. Like, they had him, like, I don't know. And around that time, so the crazy part about that, and this is kind of shifting a little bit, during that, I think it was either season 2 or 3 of a Fresh Prince, he was training for Ali. So this dude was swole, looking like a heavyweight boxer. So they had to make other people look small, look even bigger. Like there was a part where they were throwing a party at their house, and Evander Holyfield showed up.
Oh, yeah, I saw that episode.
So if you noticed, he's wearing a leather jacket. Evander Holyfield, they got him in this big old leather jacket because they were like, yo, at first they did the stare down and Will was like acting like he was scared, but like they looked about the same size. So it didn't look like that much like he was a threat to him, I guess.
Yeah.
So they had to like make him look even bulkier because of that. So like he just kept getting more and more OP of a player and of a, I don't know. They did a lot with Will Smith and Fresh Prince. Like,
yeah, that one. I mean, if you're talking about Ali, he had to be older because he was older by that time.
Well, no, they put the little makeup on. I think I'll have to check when those came out. But I remember because I remember watching some documentary thing where they were talking about how he was training for that, and I was like, you know what, he did look kind of big during then.
Because he was almost wrapping up around Fresh Prince. He wasn't like starting Fresh Prince because his what you call it? I know they put a makeup on that stuff to make him look older, but he was also older as a character, as a person by that time. But yeah, look it up and let me know.
Okay, yeah. Fresh Prince Ali came out in 2001.
Okay.
So it was like 6 seasons. So yeah, 96, 01. But yeah, they were talking about how he was, or what movie was it? There was something that he was preparing for that he already was getting really big for.
That might be Independence Day, maybe.
Maybe I think it was Independence Day.
Because that was when he was younger as well. Because I'm trying to think of like how he looked in certain movies where he was younger.
I think it was Independence Day. Because yeah, he was a little bit bigger there. It was already starting to get him to start bulking up. But I think for the Ali movie, they made him get bigger like for a few years before they actually started. They're like, yo, we need you to be huge bulky for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I think that gotta be another top 5 is I don't know if we're gonna do basketball fictional, but maybe black sitcoms or sitcoms in general. Maybe top 5 sitcoms.
You know what, man? You know what? We can almost leave this one up to the people as well.
Okay.
Or either way, we can do all of them, but see which one they want to hear from next. We got a few of them. We're going to do a lot more top 5s, especially to sprinkle in here and there. It's kind of lighten it up. But yeah, I like the sitcoms or black sitcoms. I could try to get me a 5. Like a 5 together for fictional basketball characters, you know.
That was a tough one because it kind of draw with the movies that we kind of did as well. So
yeah, well, either way, we can do that and still just talk about and then when we do is talk about like their attributes on the team and all that. But yeah, no, I like that. But yeah, this one was fun. This is really, really fun.
It's a tough one. I mean, yeah, I don't think we had any like major disagreements with any of the movies besides Love and Basketball. That's probably the only one that's like you wasn't really feeling, but
I get it. I get it though, man. Like
I mean, it's not high on my list. It's still number 4. It ain't like it's 1. So, but yeah, it's up there. Now, I don't want to bring it back, but Uncut Gems. That's the only one I'm like, I don't know. It's 5 just yet. I think it's still up. I think it's up there, but it's not like. I don't know. It's just not really up there for me right now, like in the top 5 all time or my top 5. I think
for me, it was mainly because it was so like mesmerizing for me. Like it was a long movie and I didn't really feel like it was long. Like I was tuned. It captivated me or something. I don't know what it was, but like the story, I like movies and me and Shay joke about this. Like there's sometimes in movies where like the main character, you're just like, yo, he just can't catch a break. Yo, he just going.
Are y'all feel for him?
Yo, every time I start to look up, boy, he comes. It's again something else. Like, yeah. So like,
so what you think about a movie like Hustle? Then like that
I haven't got to watch it yet. I haven't.
What?
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to mention it.
Okay, it's pretty good. I don't know. I wouldn't put it up there on this list either. I think Uncut Gems is better than that one, but it's kind of talk about the real, kind of a real route of how overseas players in Europe and stuff come over and stuff like that. So and play.
Yeah.
And try to get picked up by a team and stuff like that. So
man, See, and I wanted to talk because I like the see, and I always send you clips of people playing overseas and stuff like that. It's very much so it's like the captivating, like, or it's like the cool little like alternative route, and it shows a lot of people that like, yo, if you really love the game, you can still get paid well from this. You can still get paid doing playing the game that you love. And there's a lot of really good teams over there and players that's like could probably go over here and still get 20, 25, some of them even 30 a game. It's just the politics of the NBA that I've learned, where even every single player on the team, like on the NBA teams here, could have breakout nights or could play well, but we like seeing this player. Yeah, but I'm better than him. We know you are, but you know what I'm saying? So we may not, or yes, you're better at shooting, but I want you to play like this. So now they'll say things like, oh, that guy can't shoot. Well, the coach doesn't want me to shoot. So
it's kind of like what I'm Iman Shepard. He was saying, he was like, I'm like really cold at basketball, but when I'm in the Cavs in the New York system, it's like they only wanted me to be like that safety hazards, like, hey, they got a shot, so they pass it to me, and I just have to chug up a shot the last second or two. So it's kind of like I'm not able to be utilized at my full strength and my full talents where I can actually run this game. And just like at this moment, the team needs is this what they wanted me to be, a spot up 3-point shooter and be a defender, and like a bailout button. So
right.
It kind of,
and that messes with you. That also messes with your stats. So if 10 years,
and then what people look at you as too,
right? They'll go back and look and be like, well, in 2020, you only averaged 7 points a game, and you missed 10 points, or you missed 10 shots in this game. It's like, yeah, but one of those shots was a half court heave. Like,
all right.
Another one was like a shot that should have been called a foul, but it wasn't because LeBron fouled me. Like, so sometimes those numbers don't, play the tape, or it doesn't play the story the right way. And so then you get to see a lot of those players that will go over and play, and, like I just sent you that one of Eric Bledsoe going crazy in China or Taiwan, I think. But yeah, Eric Bledsoe right now is going crazy overseas.
Bledsoe, you got Dwight Howard, you got a whole bunch of people though. I mean, and I think Dwight Howard's playing to come back though.
Right.
I think that's what he's trying to do. And then some of the players like Bledsoe, I don't know if he'll pick back up, but it's like they're trying to play and they're getting super big highlights right now because around the trade deadline, these are the type of players that people start to look at and be like, let me just go ahead and pick him up, put him on the team. He might not get a playtime, but if we really need him, we know he can be sort of productive when he's on the team. So
I don't know. And it's just, maybe we'll have somebody on the show that's like from overseas or that's playing overseas right now.
Mm-hmm.
We could have somebody talk about that a little bit, but I mean, it's
experience.
It's a cool little insight, but I don't know. Yeah, I always think about that, like how hard it is in this game. Cause like in that one clip that I sent you with Matt Barnes talking about Wally Zerbiak and stuff. But one thing that kind of caught my eye was he said only 5,000 people have been in the NBA in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
That's so like when you look at it, there's only like 30 teams, right? 30 teams in the NBA, 15 roster spots. That's what, 1,500? If my math is right. Or
say it again.
There's 12 to 15 roster spots on 30 teams. So 15 times 30. I don't know. 450. So yeah, 450 spots at any given time. Like there's a big chance that you may not make it to the league no matter how cold you are. So what else?
I mean, that's why they got. This is exactly why they have G League and other programs that people will go into, because say a spot's not available, but somebody get hurt or they need somebody, or somebody ain't playing right, they want to cut somebody, waive somebody, then that's why those spots become available. And that's why you got to keep, refining your game and continue to do stuff like that. You can't just say, I didn't make the NBA now, I have to go do something else, which you can. But if playing basketball is your dream and something you still have to find different avenues.
Right.
And unfortunately, if you're going to get paid to do it, then the G League or overseas will have to be some way you do it instead of just be like, I'm going to my local Y, refining my game, playing, but I'm not making any money. Wow. You know what I mean? So, it's the cream of the crop. I mean, you can't pay millions of dollars to play basketball, and they're not going to give it to everybody. So, to me, that's why it still needs to be limited. I don't want to see, anybody from the Y go make an NBA team. I feel like they still, even though if they can, they still need to be put through the fire.
Man, when I'm saying
showcase. So
when I'm saying that, I'm talking about the dudes who was D1, high D2, or even like the D1s who was going off, but you played at Rhode Island State or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some, or a lot of the HBCUs players will go there, have crazy years, but we're checking for the Dukes or the Texas or the UCLAs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about the ones who's that dude, not just that dude at the Y, but that dude in March Madness.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not talking off the radar sometimes too.
Yeah. I'm not talking about me or something. I'm talking about those dudes.
Certified.
Yeah. So then they got to go to Japan or whatever, or Tokyo, or not Tokyo. Go to Japan or like,
China, Taiwan.
China. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's say overseas, because there's so many places they can play. So
man, Germany, you can make good money in Germany. My cousin played in the Czech Republic and got paid really well. I mean, you said it was boring, but
yeah,
the hooping part was cool. So, definitely not Russia at the moment, but you could definitely go play anywhere you want.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, man.
Let us know what y'all think about the list. What is your top 5?
Yeah, let us know. I mean, let us know your top 5. If you disagree with our top 5s or you agree with one of ours, make sure y'all put Love and Basketball in your top 5. It's a good movie. Put in your top 5. But yeah, let us know. Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube videos. Continue to give us feedback. You know what I mean? So we love to hear how we doing and what we want. If we need to change anything up, just let us know.
And if you made it this far, man, share this with a friend. Tell everybody about it. Thank you all for rocking with us so far. Have a happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all those.
You gotta say Happy Holidays, so it kind of encompasses everything.
Happy holidays. But yeah, enjoy time with your family, man. Like we said last episode, tell somebody you love them. Call up your friends, man, over the holidays. If you can't give them anything, just give them a conversation. But anyways, like I always say, whether we chat like bros or I debate you like an enemy, it's all fun and games. Just match my energy.
Let's go.
Just match my energy. Just match my energy. Yeah.